Hi, I'm Tracy Smart, and today I wanted to talk to you about human design and the gene keys. And I wanted to be able to give you a perspective of why someone would want to meet with me to have me read both of these different charting systems. And what are they all about? And how do they help you in your life navigate and become your unique self, be confident in yourself, understand how you work, and thrive within your design. Thrive within knowing that everything will find you as you need it to find you in life, and there's not anything really you need to be seeking, controlling, or trying to be someone else. And so I wanted to share my screen with you. And the item that I want to share is about what do these designs look like. So for human design, it is a beautiful system that was brought to us by a gentleman named Ra back in the 80s. And you could say he discovered this through not looking for it, which is how most divine items find us, truths you could call them. And what he was able to decipher in what he was downloaded through transmission was that we are each uniquely designed. And the way that that design comes through is through our birth, the exact date, location, and time. But also part of our design comes through a few months before that as we pass through the cosmos and we pick up information of what we are here to speak to, experience, kind of play parts. And so the image on our screen to begin with is the design of what we would call the generator. And why is that important? Well, if your design is a generator, then you have unlimited power in your sacral that is created nonstop, meaning that you are the Energizer Bunny, as long as you are in your right timing. And what I mean by right timing is meaning that the decisions that you're making of where to put your focus and energy are right for you, instead of maybe being right for someone else, or maybe your idea is great, but it isn't the right time to start it. Or maybe the idea is great, but it was just meant to kind of play within your mind and not go anywhere. And the generator has a specific way that they can ask what is in their right timing. When they get their yeses, for instance, when they ask their questions and they decide to go forward with whatever project or idea and bringing it into life for themselves, they will always have the energy to sustain it. However, when they choose and make decisions that are not in their right timing, the generator loses all power and gets really tired and frustrated, and things don't kind of work out for them. And they feel at every moment like something is trying to thwart them, kind of standing in their way. And so this is a picture of the generator. Now, within human design, there are shaded areas and there are unshaded areas. The difference is a shaded area, we call it a defined area of our chart, meaning that it is solely us. There isn't any confusion going on. For instance, the one that I'm circling here is the throat. In this chart, it is defined, it is blue, meaning that this person can express themselves at all times. They can always find their voice. However, if you are a person who has this design and you can't find your voice, that can be because you are conditioned to be silent. And that's a really key thing to know, because then you can take back the power of your expression and work through letting go of this idea that you needed to remain silent. Whereas this person down here has this triangle on the right of our screen. This is the emotional center. And for this person, it is not shaded in. It would have been bold if it was. And so in this, they are a mirror. Anytime we have an unshaded part of our chart, we are mirroring our outer world. Meaning that in this aspect, this person is an emotional empath. They pick up the emotions of others who are in their vicinity. Especially, they are more even keel with emotion. They don't have ups and downs like someone who is shaded. Someone who's shaded has a wave of emotion. It comes to highs and it goes to lows. But for this person who feels emotions of others, they feel them very strongly. In fact, they feel them almost to the point where it's overwhelming at times if they didn't understand that these were not their feelings. And so you could say sometimes these people are seen as over emotionally reactive. However, they're not really reacting to their own emotions. They're reacting to the room, to the house, to the group, to the person, and they're here to show us something. And so if we know that about ourselves, we could take the pressure off of why are we feeling all of these emotions and what am I supposed to do with them? And we could go and let go and breathe and just relax and say, hey, I just read other people and I pick up what they're feeling, but I don't have to take it on. And that's a really important part of understanding your own human design, because there could be parts of you that you have never understood and no one understands. But when we go through and we look at your chart, it will bring clarity as to why you've always felt a certain way, thought a certain way, experienced something. And so human design helps us do that. We're going to move on to a reflector. A reflector is very unique. It's about 1% of the population, whereas a generator is over half of the population. There's more generators out there, which are our builders in life. They are the doers. Our reflectors are open completely in their design. They have no shaded areas, meaning they are merely a mirror reflecting to us everything that is inside of us, and we're seeing it back reflected to us in our outer world. And either you love your reflectors or you don't love your reflectors, because depending on what they're showing you, you may love it within yourself or you may hate it within yourself. And the idea is that they help us see what is hidden, what we are not aware of, and bring it to the light. And reflectors pick up energy, they pick up emotions, they pick up our pain, they pick up our identities, they pick up our thoughts, our inspirations. They are open to be this person who could give us great insight if we could let them. All right. A projector, the other type of a lot of reflection going on in a projector's chart. They do not have the sacral turned on, meaning that they do generate energy within their body, but they don't have it steady like the generator. It's not all the time, meaning it comes in waves. It comes and it goes, and they need to honor their highs and their lows and realize that they're not the generator. They're not meant to go, go, go like the Energizer Bunny. They will burn out. And the way they burn out is they use this lower center of the root, which is shaded. And it's that adrenal. They're just pushing and pushing and pushing themselves until they burn out, literally. Reflectors are here to help us see how we manage our energy. Are we managing our systems in a way that best help us move through life feeling energetic, happy, joyful, with an ease, peace? And so projectors help us do that by seeing different aspects of ourselves if we allow ourselves. The next set is the manifesting generator. And so the manifesting generator, this chart, for instance, is really lit up. Not all manifesting generators look like this. I have seen manifesting generators have quite a few open spaces that are reflecting back. This particular chart is mine. And the only open space I have is at the crown. And once I found human design for myself, it made so much sense why in life I spent a lot of time manifesting and generating ideas that I got inspiration from, because I was picking up others' inspiration. That's what my crown does. It picks up inspiration. And because I can have all the power to create something and I can bring it into life, I can do anything that inspires me. The problem was I wasn't using my discernment to check in and see if these creative ideas were ones that I was supposed to create or ones that I just was supposed to enjoy with other people and allow them to decide whether or not they were going to generate them themselves. And so I spent a lot of time when I was much younger doing a lot of things that burnt me out, exhausted me, because I didn't understand that I was just so open to inspiration. Whereas I am definitely defined here in this diamond yellow area. This is the self. I've always known myself. I have always known who I was. However, I felt many times in my life like someone didn't accept who I was or didn't believe that that's who I was. And so it was always something I felt I was fighting because we all just want to fit in. And so human design lets us see what areas of ourself do we need to nourish? Do we need to bring out as the gifts that are within us? And which ones at the same time, if we didn't understand what they were, we could have some misunderstandings in our life and in our relationships. And that's where we kind of get ourselves into trouble. The next one is the manifester. And the manifester is not turned on in the sacral. That's what makes them just a manifester, whereas the manifesting generator is turned on in the sacral. So they are both. They are both able to manifest something into reality and generate it on their own, meaning they can build it themselves. Whereas a manifester has great ideas. They're like leading us through to future growth, expansion, but they're not meant to like be the ones that go and build it. They need to find their partners in life, their generator partners, that help them bring their ideas into form. So they're more of the overseer, you could say the leader, the person who's kind of inspiring people. And a projector is a lot like that too. They are the ones that kind of are here to guide and lead us into something. I wanted to show you a different way that the chart comes through. So this chart here again is my chart that is showing me all of my areas that I'm lit up, but it's also showing me now these lovely little red and black lines that connect to these centers. And these tell me different, you could say channels I have open that give me the personality that I have, or maybe underlying things that drive me that I don't understand. And so we can delve into kind of how you are made up and why you do the things you do, but see them from a higher perspective of a gift level, which we'll get into from the gene keys, that gives us the opportunity to see ourselves in a whole new light, to kind of elevate us out of some darkness that we've had and some feelings that haven't felt so great in our life, and see how unique and special we really are and what we bring to the world. Then we get into the gene keys. And the gene keys looks like this. And it's the same information. We're putting in our name, our date of birth, our time, our location of birth, and we're getting this populated. Where the gene keys takes human design, these same numbers, but it gives us language to understand, kind of like a play that we're in our life. You could say all of these spheres are like parts of you they're like scripts that you're running that you didn't understand. They're like characters in a play, and we put them on and we play them. Now, sometimes we put them on and we are our very best self, meaning we come from what the gene keys calls the gift level, which is the best part of how we see ourselves in the world. But most of the time we don't come from that level. We come from what the gene keys calls the shadow level, which is our challenge in life. And so when I interpret a chart for someone, I read it through all aspects of the shadow and the gift, and the wounds in which the lenses in which we see the world. And when I say wounds, it's kind of like wounds of guilt, rejection, shame, repressing ourselves, feeling separate, not accepted. And the last one is self-denial. So thinking that we don't have within us some of the things we see in our outer world that we don't like, except everything we see in our outer world is a reflection of our inner world. And we can use it as a way to gain awareness within ourselves of what we want to rethink, let go, elevate, and evolve out of, just stop kind of seeing show up all the time in our relationships. And the gene keys is free, as well as human design to run any chart. You can go to any human design website or the gene keys chart and run your chart. You'll get a free chart. However, learning the system and understanding all of this language takes time and effort, which is something that is self-discovery, which I totally advocate for everyone. However, if you're needing some help and you're new to these systems and you're wanting a place to start, this is what I provide. I kind of give you a language to start, where to put your focus, and what are the most important things you need to know right now in this moment for you. And so the Gene Keys kind of looks like this for your free holographic chart. You get your genius, which is a path that we go through in life, our love path, and our prosperity path. And then it gives you a synopsis of some of the genius path of language for each of these special unique keys, or again, kind of like play characters that you are and how they relate to whether you're happy and joyfully creating life or you're struggling and you're kind of down in the muck and the mire. And then again, it gives you in these color codings, and you'll notice that the bottom here, my 40.4 along this green path goes up to my radiance, which is how I'm healthy, I stay healthy, which then comes across to this pink in the center, the SQ, which is my heart. Everything goes through our heart, so when it's closed from all the hurt we've ever had, we don't really even see ourselves in the way that we are designed to be, in our uniqueness and this great expansion of who we are that we could share with the world. And then we come across to our evolution, and our evolution is like the thing that we see a lot show up in our life, but isn't always the most pleasant thing. But it's a challenge we have. And we pair it with the top of the chart here, which is our life's work. And it's not like our job, what we choose to do to make money. Our life's work is generally more how we are in every moment, who we are in every moment, and allowing us to regain some parts of ourselves that we left along the way trying to fit in, and to realize that our uniqueness is what allows us to fit in. And when we let that part of us go or be repressed, or we deny certain parts of ourselves, we aren't really living our full life. We aren't really ecstatically living. We're kind of just moving through, waiting for something that we don't even know what it is. And most of our life, we just feel kind of stuck or sad or angry or not really motivated. So what I offer within reading your profile for both human design and the Gene Keys is to give you insight into yourself. And a lot of times people will tell me that the insight that they gain from the reading is really this deep, truthful understanding of something they've always felt about themselves, but couldn't put into words. And it gives them something of a gift to fall in love with themselves, to get to know themselves better. And so that's what I'd love to share with you. So if you want to sign up for an appointment to have me read your chart, there is on our website a button to do that. You will be sent a small form that gets some information before we meet, so I can run those charts and then do a reading. I always record the reading, so it's in audio form that you'll get, as well as we will meet for an hour, whether it's on the web through Zoom or in person here in my office. And we will kind of go through the parts that I think are important for you to know where to begin and what you can get most out of it. And then we just kind of go from there and see if we would like to work together in other aspects of what I do for helping everybody kind of work through areas in their life where they get stuck in, whether they're relationships or just kind of overall have no motivation to figure out where they want to be, and they're just not really happy in life. We have some techniques that I do here that can help us move forward. So looking forward to meeting you if you're interested. And again, just going to book an appointment for a comprehensive reading of your human design and Gene Keys chart.